Hello and welcome to the penultimate round of the Formula Racing League Tier 2. I'm Tom Kent in the commentary box, giving you the details for tonight's event. Now, it's been chosen that full quali has been set in place at the moment, but I've been told by race control that drivers have been told to do one lap and then retire, as we've got only 16 contenders for tonight's event. So with it being just the one driver being knocked out at the end of Q1, there's hardly any point really of doing the full quali. So what it could be instead is a short qualifying, an 18-minute session involving all drivers battling it out for pole position. We'll find out soon enough in a few moments' time. This is the Shanghai circuit in China. It's been home to the Chinese Grand Prix since 2004. I've seen some memorable moments over the years. So we'll see some drivers out on the circuit. A rundown of who is driving where. We've got Warrior Huntsman in the AlphaTauri, P Crazy 2 in the McLaren, No Fandangle in the Alfa Romeo, Elvise Nino in the Ferrari, Favi Fenum in the Mercedes, M Mystery in the Ferrari, P-Miss 1 in the Red Bull, Lorenzo in the Alfa Romeo, Andy Meister in the Haas, Innovat Glory in the Racing Point, the driver R28 in the Mercedes, Jay Hartnell in the Red Bull. We've got See It 2014, who's on his outlap at the moment in the Williams. JB Bowie 95 in the Racing Point. Jay Hamster 97 in the Renault, and finally Temp 348274 in the McLaren. So you can see the drivers beginning to do some outlaps at the moment. We'll find out soon enough as to whether there will be a restart of the session to do the short qualifying rather than do the full qualifying. And I think in a few minutes' time, if drivers do decide to continue, then we can only assume that the session will not be stopped, carry on as it is, and drivers will battle it out to make sure to get into Q2. Is CNET 2014. He'll be the first driver to cross over the line to begin his flying lap. Around through turn 3, and the power through turn 4, and then it's a short right hander of turn 5, and then we've got this hairpin of turn 6, nailing the apex quite nicely there. There's the Williams driver, number 94, on his vehicle. Should expect times to be around in the 28s or the 29s, but with it being tier 2, could be a little bit slower, but we'll find out soon enough. Now this is a tricky part of the circuit, turns 12 and 13. Seen up 2014, getting it right there. DRS wide open. We should see the first lap time, providing he does not exceed the track limits. Through the hairpin of turn 14 through 15, and then the last corner of turn 16. Over the line he comes, DRS wide open, over the line, and it's a 33.6. So that's the time to beat. Warrior Huntsman has had his lap invalidated for exceeding track limits. The driver R28 has gone fastest on the 30.8, so a good lap from him there. So P Crazy 2 exceeding track limits on the last corner, so that's his lap over there. Here's Andy Meister 28 in the Haas. Coming over the line to set a 33.3. We've got the racing point there of Infinite Glory, who's just started his flying lap actually. We'll find out who else is on a flying lap at the moment. JB Bowie 95. He's further around the circuit at the moment, so we'll stay on board with him. And Farvey Fenham has gone second fastest on a 32.7. JB Bowie braking a bit too late there into turn 11. Into 13. The line wasn't particularly the greatest, but it wasn't disastrous. What lap time is it going to be here? There's a nice entry into turn 14. Turn 16, the last corner. Rather cautious through there, didn't want to risk invalidating the lap. It's a 31.5, so not a bad lap there from the Racing Point driver, who goes second fastest. Jay Hamston 97 is going to be crossing the line to start his flying lap now. So 5 drivers so far have set a lap time. We've got M Mystery 98 in the Ferrari. Now Mystery, you can see a few more times being set, and a couple of drivers have retired from the session now, so I assume that this session's going to be null and void, and there's going to be a short qualifying of 18 minutes, so this session's going to be rather irrelevant. We've got 3 drivers who've already left the session already. It's a matter of time before others follow suit. Here's Lorenzo in the Alfa Romeo. Let's see what lap time he can do. It will be a 31.5. So I'll put in 5th fastest there. Here's Jay Hartnell in the Red Bull. And then Lorenzo's retired from the session, so Jay Hamster 97's gone fastest on a 30.3, so good lap from him there in the Renault. Here's Pimus 1, championship leader on 113 points, 12 clear of his nearest rival Infinite Glory. Here's Pimus 1, who goes into the pit lane. The video I did a flying lap earlier. Here's Infinite Glory in the Racing Point, going over the line to set a 31.0, so good luck from him there. Here's Warrior Huntsman, one of 4 drivers yet to set a lap time. And Primus 1 has retired from the session. He's the 5th driver to leave the session, so I'd imagine we are going to get a reboot of this particular event. Here's Alphys Nino. Farvey Fennan's left the session now as well. So 7 drivers have left the session, made that 8. Now 9 drivers have left the session, so Jay Hartnell's left the session. There's Alphys Nino. There's only 4 drivers left in the session. This Alphys Nino is going to be the last driver to set a time. Over the line he goes. He goes 10th fastest. And there's only 3 drivers left in the session now. So we should expect to see the session null and void. So the driver, R28, should expect him to leave the session any moment now. And once Alphys Nino comes back into the pits, the session will be officially null and void. So whilst we're waiting, we can have a look at the drivers' stand-ins and see who's in contention, because this is the penultimate round of the championship. Pumas 1, who's racing in the Red Bull, is the championship leader on 113 points. He's 12 clear of Infinite Glory in the Racing Point on 101. Then it's David Eric, who I don't believe is in the running for this event. He may join in the second session once this event is officially null and voided. We'll soon find out anyway, but he's third in the driver's standings. Then it's Jack Berry in fourth on 40 points. So not on 40 points, 73 points. He's 40 points off the championship leader. And it's Jay Hampson 97 in fifth on 68 points, 45 off the top. So those 5 drivers are still in mathematical contention of going for the championship. So everyone is back in now. And I would think there should be So if you have just joined us, we do apologise for the delay to the session, with there being a considerable number of people involved. There was 16 drivers involved in the session, but within Q1, Q2 and Q3 there would only be 1 driver eliminated at the end of Q1. So I think what's going to be happening now is we can do a short qualifying of 18 minutes to determine the grid, and the race will get underway shortly after that. As far as I know, Q2 has already begun, so I think what it is, 15 drivers have already made it into the what is now Q2. It looks as though that Jay Hartnell has decided to opt out of it to allow the other drivers to participate in that. So the driver's out on circuit at the moment, and No Fandangle's gone for a trip through the grass there. As you can see, the Red Bull of Pinmas 1 also going wide. So Warrior Huntsman on the mediums. Meanwhile, Warrior Huntsman is on his flying lap. Can he get into Q3? Looking at where he is in the driver's stand-ins. He's currently 13th on 8 points after 8 races, so he'll be looking to improve that score here. So no driver set a time so far. Warrior Huntsman set to be the first, providing he does not exceed the track limits. DRS wide open on the AlphaTauri. You see the Mercedes of Varvey Fenham, I think it is. No, it's the other one, the driver at R28 who goes for a spin in the background. That's his lap time ruined. That won't affect the AlphaTauri though. Warrior Huntsman goes quickest on the 32.4. Their lap time will most definitely be coming down once other drivers come across the line. And Pinmas 1 getting held up there by the AlphaTauri. Not the AlphaTauri, the Alfa Romeo I should say. Pinmas 1 hoping to get into Q3, which is his target. And the last corner now, coming over the line. And he'll go fastest on the 32.3. And No Fandangle goes even quicker on the 32 dead. Varvey Fenham in the Mercedes. Coming around to complete his lap now. Can he get into the 31s? Not quite, he's a 32.2 and he goes second quickest. And P Crazy 2's gone fastest on his softs on a 31.3. Here's Temp in the McLaren with that gorgeous pink liveried helmet. I like that colour design actually. So here he is, the number 48 McLaren on a set of mediums. With 9 minutes to go in Q2, round in the last corner now, and he'll go second fastest on a 32 dead, so it's a good lap there from Temp. Here's Lorenzo in the Alfa Romeo. across the line to post his first time of the session. He goes 9th fastest on a 32.5. Here's Alphonse Nino on a set of mediums. Now, who is on what? It looks as though Temp, Infinite and No Fandangle on the mediums. They set their times on the mediums. Likewise with Pimis 1, Warrior Huntsman, Lorenzo, and Alphas Nino, who's about to post his time. And he goes 5th fastest on 32.1. So I think you have to say that you need to be in the low 32 at least to have any chance of getting through to Q3. And it looks so that GB Bowie has exceeded track limits, so that's his lap time over there. And Mystery, yet to post a lap time. He's on the soft compound, so we should expect him to get into the 31s. He's posted the best out of anyone in Sector 1, hence why it's gone purple. It's a tricky part to get right here. Turns 7 and 8. Turns 9 not so hard, but important to get good exit speed through turn 10. And then pick your braking point at turn 11 just before the curb begins. Don't think he quite nailed the apex of turn 12 as well as he would have liked to have done. Warrior Huntsman appears to have retired from the session now. So clearly thinking more about the race than quali. Meanwhile, his N Mystery taking it cautiously through turn 14. Ferrari number 22 running the last corner now. Over the line for a 31.3, and that's the fastest of anyone in this session. So Warrior Huntsman, who's retired from the session, is now out of qualifying. He won't be making it through. And his Sierra Run 2014 going 13th fastest on 33.8. It's not a very good time from him there. J Hamster 97 going 3rd fastest on a 31.5 on the medium compound. So it's a good lap there from Josh. Sierra Run 2014 looking to go quicker than he did so before. He needs to, really. The thing is, if he does complete the lap, is he going to have enough time to get back to the pits, get another set of tyres on, to go for a last run? He should do. Now, who else is on the flying lap? No one else really at the moment, so we'll stay with Sierra Run 2014. See the Ferrari in front of him there. Should stay out of his way. Just before the 100 metre body breaks into turn 14. Good last corner there. It should be a 32. 32.5. It's a much better lap, but he stays 14th. So he needs to find some time. He needs to get back into the pits quickly to get onto a set of softs, I'd reckon, to have any chance of getting through to Q3. So the man who's on the cusp is Pimis 1, who had set his time, I believe, on the mediums. So he's back out onto the circuit now. JB Bowie 95, who's yet to set a time, needs to do so very, very soon. P Crazy 2 has lost a lot of time in Sector 1. No improvement from him there. So the drivers in the drop zone are Andy Meister 28, Warrior Huntsman, Lorenzo, Sia Runt 2014 and JB Bowie. So JB Bowie crossing the line to start his, what we hope is his first flying lap. There's a car coming out of the pits there. That's not convenient. It's the Mercedes who gets out of the way in time, but did he hold him up? And Jay Hamster 97 has retired from the session, so he's not going to improve his time. He should make it through to Q3. And a 24.4 is not the fastest from JB Bowie of anyone, but it's not, doesn't need to be the fastest in this session. He just needs to get into the top 10 to bag a place into Q3. I do miss the pink colours of the Racing Point, to be fair, but I'm not going to complain about the green colours of the Aston Martin. So JB Bowie 95, who's looking to improve from before. Well, he hasn't posted a time yet, actually. So this will be his first time lap and probably his only time lap. You know, he needs to get into a low 32 minimum to have any chance of getting through to Q3. He's running the last corner now. He just stays within the limits. He goes 14 fastest on a 32.5, so surely he's not going to improve. He may go for another lap. I think he's going to have to go on another lap if he wants to get through. Here's Pimis 1 on a better lap than before. I hope the McLaren didn't get in his way there. It probably didn't. And M Mystery's retired from the session now, so clearly he's happy with his lap from earlier. So Pimis 1, 10th fastest at the moment, the championship leader. But I think this is going to be an improvement. Can he go better than a 32.3? Most definitely. It's a 31.2, that's a much better lap time. He goes fastest with that. So he's most definitely going to get through to Q3 with that. Here's Lorenzo. So he's prepping for a last run. Here's JB Bowie 95. Determined to better his lap time from before. And Andy Meister's just completing his outlet there, so we'll stay with JB Bowie. He's done a better time than before, but is it going to be enough to get into the top 10? The better time, he goes 13 fastest, but he's going to be knocked out. Lorenzo, nearly 3/10 better than his previous best in Sector 1. The driver R28 going better than before, goes 4th fastest on a 31.5. Alphas Nino's the driver on the cusp at the moment. He's just starting his flying lap now. Andy Meister 28's gone fastest of anyone in Sector 1. So clearly the track is getting faster. Lorenzo going faster than before. Sia Runt 2014 has gone over the line. Hasn't bettered his time. So he's out of Q2. We know Warrior Huntsman is already out of Q2 because he's already left the session. So here's Andy Meister. So we want to go to Lorenzo because he's closer to finishing his lap. You see a yellow flag there, but I think that's just another driver getting out of the way. When it comes round, it's the Red Bull. Infinite Glory's gone fastest of anyone with a 30.7. Here's Lorenzo crossing over the line now. I think he may have run out of fuel, you know, or whether he's just deliberately not wanting to qualify on the soft. So he's out of qualifying. Andy Meister crossing over the line. He gets through to Q3 and goes 2nd fastest. So Alphas Nino needs to find some time somewhere. Here's JB Bowie, who's lost the time there because he's exceeded track limits. So Alphas Nino is in the drop zone. Can he post a better time to get through? Over the line he comes now. And he does get through into Q3 and he goes third fastest. So No Fandangle is out of qualifying. So Temp, Jay Hamster, the only drivers getting through on the mediums. So the drivers we've lost in Q2 are No Fandangle, Warrior Huntsman, JB Bowie, Lozenzo and Sierra Runt 2014. And with the times being so close in Q2, we should expect a good old battle for pole position in Q3. And I've just been told that Elfaz Nino, who's just got through to Q3, has a Q3 bang. So he won't be setting a time in the session. So it's a 12-minute session now, so we should expect to see 2 runs from these drivers. You can see there the McLaren of P Crazy. The first driver to go out onto the circuit. It's a nice shade of green there on the helmet there of P Crazy's helmet. And the other McLaren of 7348274 and the soft tyres. J Hamster 97 out on the circuit in the Renault. In regards to the championship, P Crazy is only 19th in the standings with no points to his name, so he's got 2 more races to change just that. So P Crazy preparing to start his first flying lap of this Q3 session. Crossing the line now to start his first Q3 lap. P Crazy coming through sector 1 to 23.9, which is a respectable time. Doesn't quite nail turn 6, or 7 I should say. Which compromises his entry through turn 8. Turns 9 and 10 is okay though. Can he find the correct braking point into turn 11? He can, and he nails the apex brilliantly. Gets a little bit of wheel spin coming out of there through turn 12, and then pick your point when to pick up the throttle through turn 13, which he does rather well. And we should expect to see P Crazy maybe in the low 31s, high 30s with this lap. So through turn 14, not a bad entry through there. Wants to pick his line through the 16, the last turn, which he does well. And it's a 31.1, so a good lap time there from P Crazy. who sets the time for everyone to beat. His temp to go faster on a 30 dead. That's a great lap time from the McLaren driver. And I think that's going to be very hard for anyone to beat. Jay Hamster has had his time invalidated for exceeding track limits, so that's no time for him there. Here's Father Fenham. Is he going to be in the running for pole position here? Crossing the line now. And it's a 31.4. Now, N Mystery's gone fastest of anyone in Sector 2. So he's going to be the next driver to post a time. I'll stay with him for now. I don't think he had his DRS open, so clearly he's not going to be posting a fast time. I can imagine he'll just go straight back into the pits. So only 4 drivers have posted the time so far. 10th fastest on a 1:30.0. Then it's the driver R28 in second on a 30.8. P Crazy in third on a 1:31.1. Then it's Father Fenham in fourth on a 31.4, and then M Mystery crossing the line on a 37 dead, but it's not a representative time, is that? So we should expect to see an improvement from drivers. Pims 1 has yet to set a fast time so far. It's a 24 dead in Sector 1. Having to fight the cars so much through the second sector of this lap especially. It's gone purple in Sector 2. Can he keep it that way for the rest of the lap? Oh, he gets some oversteer there. I think that may be to do with the incline of turn 13. DRS is open for him now though. Don't see him going faster than 10, but he may get onto the front row. So Pimis 1, the championship leader, compromises his entry through the last turn. Goes 4th fastest on a 31.4, but he's lost a lot of time through some oversteer. And Mystery, he's on a better lap than before, goes 4th fastest on a 31.2. Infinite Glory is also on a flying lap. What can he come up with here? He's gone purple in Sector 2, which is good news for him. Nails 13 better than Pimis 1 did a moment ago. DRS wide open. Needs to pick his braking point for turn 14, which he does well. Very good entry and a very good nailing of the apex. Good exit speed. Can he nail 16 as well? He can, that's brilliant. He could be in for a front row start here. He goes 2nd fastest on a 30.3, so it's a good lap time there from one of the championship contenders. But it's temp 348274. Who is the fastest. Now, he's only 12th in the Drivers' Championship with 8 points, so can he keep it that way for pole position? Some drivers on their outlaps at the moment. Some drivers will be coming back into the pits, spotting a set of the soft compound for their last runs. Jay Hamster 97 doing exactly that, but he's not posted a lap time at the moment. Andy Meiser, who's yet to set a time, is about to start his now, as is the Mercedes of the driver R28 behind him. So if he wants to go for pole, Andy Meister, he needs to be getting into a 23s, getting a 23 in sets of 1. It is a 23, it's a 23.9, so it's a good first sector so far for him. Nails the apex of turns 6 and 7. Turn 8, not as good as he would have liked. Compromising his exit for turn 10. Can he pick a good braking point here for turn 11? Takes a lot of curve through there. Probably more than he should have needed to have done. Turn 13. Getting on the marbles a little bit there. Don't think it was quite as good as what he would have wanted to have done. DRS wide open. Can he pick his braking point for turn 14? He can, but he's gone a bit too deep. He's going to compromise his exit. Last corner needs to nail. Doesn't do it as well as he needs to have done. He goes 4 fastest on a 31 dead, so... But the driver R28 has gone fastest on a 29.9. That's an astonishing lap time for him there. Very good lap time indeed. And the J Hamster 97 is yet to post a time. He hasn't got very long before he crosses the line to beat the checker flag. Now, the temp 348274 is not on a faster lap than before, I don't think. Yeah, he's lost time somewhere, has temp, so I don't... He's not going to be improving. He may go for another lap. Gone for him, not faster than before so far. Nailing the last turn. It's not going to be quicker than before, so he stays 8th fastest on a 31.4. So 40 seconds to go, and J Hamster 97 will get over the line before the checker flag falls. It's only 10th at the moment. We'll stay with him. Unless there's other drivers who are on fast up at the moment. The temp not going quicker than before. P Crazy also going back into the pits. And Pimus 1 2 tenths down from his best time before. And the checker flag is out, so any drivers on a fast lap can complete it. Touching the grass on the outside there. Just stays within the limits. Pimus 1 goes 4 fastest on a 30.9, so that's a good lap time from him there, better than before. J Hamster 97's gone purple in sector 2. Can he snatch pole away from the driver R28? He needs to nail the braking zone, which he does. Turn 16, the last corner now. Gets it just about right. And he goes 3rd fastest on a 30.1. Infinite Glory also on a fast lap. He's gone better than before. This might see him on pole, you know. And it is! He's gone up pole position! Has Infinite Glory with a 29.8. So he snatches pole away from the Mercedes of the driver R28. A great lap time from him there to snatch pole position, which will put him in good shape for the race. And with Pimus 1 in 5th place, that's going to throw the championship wide open, most definitely. So great lap time from the Infinite Glory to take pole position by a 1/10 of a second. Wow, it's a close one as well. 0.3 of a second separating the top four there. So, you know, if that's anything to go by, we could be in for a great race in a few moments. So the Infinite Glory on pole alongside the driver R28. Then it's Temp and Jay Hamster on row 2. Pimis 1 and Andy Meister on row 3. P Crazy and N Mystery on row 4. Farby Venom and Elfos Nino, who didn't set a time, are on row 5. There are drivers who didn't make it into Q3 who will be mentioned in a moment to make up the grid. So we're just waiting now for the drivers to start their formation lap. There are 16 drivers in the running for this one. So they're just sorting out their race strategies and their fuel loads. Now, with it being the penultimate round of the championship, Pimis 1 could clinch it if he's more than 20. He's at least 27 points clear of everyone else by the end of this event. So he needs to finish on the podium at least to have any chance of making that a reality. But I think from 5th place on the grid with Infinite Glory on pole, it's going to be very, very tough. So 15 seconds to go before the drivers begin their formation lap. Round 9 of the Formula Racing League, Tier 2. So Infinite Glory leading the field on the parade lap. So let's have a look and see who's starting on what. So we've got Temp and Jay Hamster starting on the mediums, as are No Fandangle, Lozenzo and Sierran. Drivers on hards are Warrior Huntsman, JB Berry and Jay Hartnell. Everyone else are all on the softs. Everyone else is on the softs, I should say. So can Pimis 1 recover from a poor qualifying, it has to be said, to take the fight to Infinite Glory and the driver R28. Well, JB Berry to take into consideration as well. He's the outside favourite in this championship, as is Jay Hamster 97. Let's see the predicted strategy. Those start considering maybe going on to the hards. Could do a one stop if they wanted to. So Infinite Glory leading the field onto the grid. There's quite some way back actually from the 6th place man Andy Meister. I think Infinite Glory will want to back the field up, so it doesn't sit on the grid for too long. So here we go, look. Infinite Glory backing the field up for the start of the Chinese Grand Prix, the penultimate round of Tier 2 in the Formula Racing League. Sixteen drivers in the running. Who will come away as the happy victor in Shanghai. Jay Hartnell taking the 16th and last space on the grid. So here we go. Can Infinite Glory convert pole into the win? Lights out and away we go. Infinite Glory gets off the line well as does the driver R28. But we've got the Red Bull of Pimis 1 getting a great start down the inside into turn 1. And it looks as though Andy Meister's gone off the road, whilst Pimis 1's down the inside of Temp for third position. And it looks as though he's going to get a good run out of turn 3, it looks so. But he's got a bad wheel spin coming off the corner, and he's going to fall behind J Hamster 97. But Pimis 1 down the inside of the Renault driver, and he takes 4th position by the looks of it. But Infinite Glory still in the lead ahead of driver R28. Then it's Temp in 3rd place, followed by Pimis 1, J Hamster. Then it's the McLaren of P Crazy, and Min Street, No Fandangle, Opels Nino, and Losenso making up the top 10. Andy Meister going off the road at turn 1 is falling down as far as 12th place by the look of it, but he's on the inside of the Mercedes of Farvey Fenham. So he's back up into 11th place there. Jay Hartnell still down in 16th place. But Infinite Glory getting the start that he needed to pull away from the likes of the driver R28, Temp, and more importantly, Pimis 1. So coming onto the back straight for the first time. Infinite Glory continuing to pull away. Still a long way to go yet in this one. And down the inside there's the Ferrari of N Min Street on the McLaren of P Crazy. Don't know if he's going to make the move stick, because P Crazy is going to have the inside line into turn 16, the last turn before the end of the lap. And that's him up into 6th position. You can see the Alfa Romeo of, I think it was Losenso going wide. You can see there's a Ferrari on the inside of No Fandangle. That is Elfas Nino, who's up into 8th. So Ferrari's 7th and 8th so far. It says it's lap 3, but it's not lap 3, and you can see the graphic keeps changing all the time, which is not correct. So No Fandangle getting a 3-second time penalty now for exceeding the track limits. And Losenso's crashed out by the looks of it, and Hayaz is collided with the Alfa Romeo of No Fandangle, and they've tangled. And it's a safety car on lap 2 of the Chinese Grand Prix. Losenso's race is already run. He must have had a coming together with the other Alfa Romeo of No Fandangle. The safety car is out. Now I wonder if those on the soft compound will come into the pits at the end of this one, so maybe go on to a set of hards or something. But what we have found out from race control is that Pimis 1 has been given a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car, which could have a massive say on the championship. See Infinite Glory, is he going to go into the pits? Yeah, he is. Temp is going to be staying out, which is no surprise. The driver R28 decided to stay out. Pimis 1 also doing the same. P Crazy going into the pits, as is M Mystery. Elfas Nino is going to get held up by his teammate in the pits, as they are in the Ferrari garage. Andy Meister's coming in. Farvey Fenning's doing the same. And No Fandangle, I can imagine, will have damage from the contact with his teammate. So Temp leading the field behind the safety car. The driver R28, Jay Hamster. Pimis 1. Then it's Warrior Huntsman, who's on the hard tyres. Sierra 2014's there as well. Jay Hartnell, JB95. You can see Infinite Glory back out onto a set of mediums. Now I wonder if Infinite Glory will go on to another set of mediums later on, or go on a set of the hard compound on the last stint, depending on how he manages his tyres, of course. So yeah, quite a clean start, it has to be said, on the lap 1 until it all unfolded on lap 2 with the contact between No Fandangle and the Senso. It'd be interesting to see what exactly caused the incident. So M Mystery's gone on the hard compound, as has Elfas Nino, so they're going to go on a long second stint. Farley Fenn, No Fandango has gone on mediums, as is Andy Meister. P Craze is on a set of mediums, as is Infinite Glory. So the top 8 have not pitted yet. But I wonder if the likes of the driver R28, Pimus 1, will come in for a set of either mediums or hards at the end of this lap. Well, we know Temp is not going to do so yet. And so yeah, R28, the driver R28, Pimus 1 are coming in. And the driver R28's got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits. So bad news for him. See the driver R28 going out in front of Pimus 1. Now remember, Pimus 1 does have a drive-through penalty which he'll need to take on the safety car restart, and there's been a collision between P Crazy and N Mystery. Now something's happened there, and No Fandango's been penalised as well. Very strange chain of events. Now who's been penalised? So No Fandango's been penalised, as has P Crazy, for a severe collision, apparently. Now I wonder if the safety car will come in at the end of this lap. It may do, it may not, but we'll find out once it goes past the second sector. Farley Fennan and Mercedes messaging saying not sure why people think it's alright to play bumper cars. They got hit 4 times on the start lap on the first 3 corners. So race control saying the safety car is in at the end of this lap. So Temp will dictate the pace, effectively becoming the safety car. To back up the field, he's got Jay Hamster, Warrior Huntsman, C-Run 2014, and N Mystery's got another 5 seconds for a his first 5 seconds of this race for a severe collision with P Crazy now. So his penalties galore at the moment, and I don't think that will be the last of them between now and the end of the race. So Temp looking to back up the field. You see the safety car pulling in, and Temp will lead the field away on the restart, but he's holding them up. Now he doesn't want Jay Hampson to be right on the gearbox of him. You see Farley Fennan nearly going into the pit wall, would you believe it? But he's got away with it anyway. Pimus 1 will need to serve his drive-through penalty. N Mystery back in the pits for front wing damage. And the driver R28 making his way through the field on the restart. And look at that, these are all the drivers jockeying for position. Now some of these haven't pitted yet. Interesting to see how it all ends up by the end of this first lap on the restart. And P Crazy making contact with Infinite Glory and getting on the inside and going through. Farley Fennan, I think, has cut the corner there and is giving the positions back. See No Fandango. Infinite Glory down the inside again of P Crazy to take back 7th position. And P Crazy going wide on the exit of turn 10. That's going to open the door for Andy Meister to go through. You can see JB Bowie on the inside of Jay Hartnell for 5th place. And the spin there for the Williams of, I think that looks like, was it Ciaran that's gone for a spin? It is Ciaran. So he's thrown away what was, I think it was in the top 5 before he had that spin. You can see, look at the field now, jockeying for position here, look. P Crazy down the inside of Infinite Glory for 5th place. So good move from him. You can see the Mercedes of the driver R28 looking to make a move on his teammate, and he's got the Haas right behind him. And looks as though that Pimus 1 has gone into the pits to serve a drive-through penalty. He's got the other Red Bull in there, but that's Jay Hartnell, but he's coming in for a pit stop, so he won't get in the way of those. he won't get in the way of Jay Hartnell. Here's Temp, continuing to lead over Jay Hamster. Jay Hamster determined to stay within 1 second of him. When the DRS does get... there's been an incident down at turn 5. Andy Meister going for another spin into the gravel trap. So he falls down the order. So the Temp continuing to lead. Jay Hamster determined to get ahead of him. Neither of those two have pitted yet. And this is a battle most definitely interested in having a look at. McGlory right behind P Crazy. Using his DRS to good effect. So no change of position. You see the driver R28 fancying his chances with the other Mercedes of Father Fenham. So driver R28 looking to make up ground. Jay Hamster right on the tail of Temp, and the driver R28's now got a 3-second time penalty for exceeding the track limits, which takes his total to 8 seconds. And Mystery setting a new fastest lap. He's got track position at the moment as well. It's going on further behind. You can see him for McGlory. This 5-car battle at the moment, maybe make it 6 with Elfas Nino on the tail of it. Jay Hamster 97. He'll most definitely have DRS, and someone's gone for a spin in the background. It's the Mercedes of the driver R28, whose race is going from bad to worse. You can see Jay Hamster with his DRS open, looking to complete the move on Temp to take the lead. Is he going to do so into turn 14? Down the inside. The two don't quite make contact, and Temp stays in front. It's a good defensive driving there. You can see Infinite Glory down the inside of P Crazy for 5th position. So that's him up a place. And Father Fenham under pressure from the Alfa Romeo of No Van Dangle. Father Fenham also trying to get past P Crazy. And driver R28's now got another 5 seconds added for speeding in the pits. And I think he can serve some of it actually. Some of his time penalty in the pits because of speed in the pits earlier on, or speeding behind the safety car. Meanwhile, here's the Temp, who continues to lead. And the driver R28 falls to the back of the field, pitting for a new front wing. Jay Hamster, he'll most definitely be in DRS again, behind Temp. But can he complete the manoeuvre on the back straight? DRS wide open. I think he's going to be too far back to have a go from that. In for McGlory. His manoeuvre should be more straightforward. So no problem from in there. Meanwhile, here's No Van Dangle. Lining up a move on the Mercedes of Father Fenham. Down the inside he goes. And I don't know if he's going to quite make it stick, because Father Fenham will have more momentum off the exit of the hairpin. So he stays in front of the Alfa Romeo in 7th. And battle continues for the lead between Temp in the McLaren and Jay Hamster in the Renault. Into turn 6. Still no change. No Fandangle. Right behind the Mercedes still. We'll stay with this battle here, look. Between Temp and Jay Hamster. Are we going to see a change for the lead very shortly? Their tyres will be falling off the cliff very soon. They have been on those mediums since the start of the race. Now J Hamster 97 will have more ERS than the McLaren, and with DRS as well, this should help him take the lead. But will the McLaren have more? I think he's going to find it very tough to hold on to the lead here, but J Hamster makes contact with the McLaren. Gets away with damage. Barbie Venom down the inside of P Crazy for 6th. Does he complete the manoeuvre? He does, and that's a position gain for him. P Crazy trying to fight back, but I don't think he's going to be able to make the mistake. The bang wheels though. P Crazy's front left tapping Barbie Venom's side pod. This battle's still not over yet. P Crazy down the inside of the Mercedes into turn 1, and he gets 6th place back. So great battle between those drivers. And Barbie Venom going wide and allowing No Fandangle to find a way through, as is the Ferrari of Elvis Nino. So Barbie Venom's lost 3 places in the space of 2 or 3 corners, and N Mystery's got another 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. That's his first 3 seconds in fact. So J Hamster 97. Surely he's going to be in the lead very, very sure. You can see the McLaren of Temp locking up into turn 11. Can he get the acceleration off turn 13? J Hamster is a lot closer than he has been in previous laps. And I think Temp's going to find it difficult to hold him up this time. And so J Hamster down the inside. Can he defend his line into the apex? He can, and that should be first place for him. So well done there to the Renault driver. He now leads the Chinese Grand Prix. There's no Fandangle. Oh, he gets a tap there from Elvis Nino, who was down the inside of him into turn 14. So that's 7th place for the Ferrari driver. So P Crazy in 6th, and someone's gone off at turn 1, and it's J Hamster who's gone for a spin, would you believe it? I'm not sure if he's had a coming together with Temp, who would have had DRS on the start-finish straight, and J Hamster's gone for a spin. Now, will the stewards take action to that? Because we didn't quite pick up on it in on the camera, and I think Elvis Nino's had a similar coming together with the likes of P Crazy, No Fandangle, and Barbie Venom. So he falls back down to 10th place. So we need to see what the stewards say after these collisions, because they are happening anywhere you can imagine. So P Crazy leading, No Fandangle, Barbie Venom, Searan 2014, and Elvis Nino. Now, as it stands, where the drivers are in the race, I have to say the championship, the race for the title, is looking very, very tight. Because Pimis 1 was 12 points clear of Infinite Glory coming into the event. And with where they are in the race, they will be level on points going into the final race of the season. And you can see No Fandangle making contact with the McLaren of P Crazy. That's going to give Barbie Venom an opportunity to pull alongside and get past him. And No Fandangle loses a place as a result of all that. But it looks so that P Crazy and No Fandangle are coming into the pits for a change of tyres. Now I'd think they're going to go onto a set of hards for the last stint. You can see Elvis Nino down the inside of the Williams of Searan 2014, but couldn't quite pull the move off. And J Hamster was also in the pits for a set of hards, so he's back out onto the circuit now. You can see No Fandangle and P Crazy serving some of their time penalty in the pits. Now he's Infinite Glory in 3rd place, behind the AlphaTauri. And also Jay Hartnell's got ahead of P Crazy No Fandangle, who has just exited the pits from their latest stops. Infinite Glory, who's surely going to get ahead of Warrior Huntsman. He's on fresher tyres than the AlphaTauri, so that wasn't a difficult overtake at all. So that's Infinite Glory up to 2nd place now. Back to the battle for 6th between Ciron 2014 and Elvis Nino. So the Mercedes Farley Fenton is under pressure from the Williams. Elvis Nino goes to the outside. Now, can he get a good exit? Not quite. So that's him staying in 7th. Pimis 1 behind the Renault of Jay Hamster. Gets a lot of wheel spin and loses time as a result of that. And Ciron 2014, and I think Temp's just come into the pits. He's coming back into the pits for a set of hards, so that's him rejoining ahead of Jay Hamster 97. So effectively the battle for the lead sees Temp still ahead of Jay Hamster. And End Mystery has got by Farley Fenton, who's just come out of the pits in 11th, so a lot can still change in this race though. Now, none of the top 9 in the race currently have got time penalties. Is Elvis Nino on the hard compound, right behind Ciron 2014. You can see there's the Temp on much fresher rubber than those ahead of him. All this time getting stuck behind traffic is going to allow Jay Hamster 97 to close in. So getting past these 3 drivers is important for Temp. He's right behind the Haas driver, who does not have to let him by. He moves in the braking zones. He's trying to get past the Ferrari though, so Temp loses even more time being stuck behind the Haas. Which is great news for Jay Hamster. You can see the Haas right behind the Ferrari. Goes to the outside into turn 1. Does he get the move done? He does, and that's him up into 5th place. But Nino's going to fight back, and Temp gets boxed in behind, and he loses even more time being stuck behind them. Jay Hamster's 4.5 seconds behind him, but that will surely come down as the lap goes on. You can see P Crazy right behind the Red Bull of Jay Hartnell. This is an interesting battle going on at the moment. Now, Elvis Nino doesn't have to let Temp by. They are battling for position after all. Elvis Nino is going to lose the place, I think, though, this time around. So the McLaren down the inside, locks up, and outbrakes the Ferrari and moves up into 6th place. Elvis Nino will have DRS. Now, I'm not sure if Temp will have DRS. Yes, he will. So he's too far back to have a go on the Haas driver. So Jay Hamster 2.8 seconds behind Elvis Nino now. So he'll need to get by the Ferrari driver very, very soon. But Infinite Glory continuing to lead. Now I wonder, the next time he comes back into the pits, he'll go on to another set of the mediums and take the fight to the likes of Temp and Jay Hamster for the race win. Pimis 1 is back into the points in 9th place. He's on the set of the medium compound, and I would like to think he'll be back in the pits again before the end, so he's got to make up as much ground as possible, especially with Infinite Glory currently leading. Warrior Huntsman, who's been on the hard tyres since the start of the race, Will he go onto a soft compound? Onto the soft compound. Temp right behind the Haas and the Williams. Locks up again into turn 11. He'll have DRS though, coming onto the back straight, as is Andy Meister, because he's within a second of Sierran 2014, who will not have DRS. So this is going to be a drag race down to turn 14. Here we go. DRS open on both cars. The Temp's going to be on the inside though. He's past the Haas, but he's not ahead of the Williams. Oh, the Haas drivers of Andy Meister's fighting back though. This is great racing, this. Andy Meister's going to have the inside line into turn 16 and stays ahead of Temp. And Andy Meister's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings in all that, as Sierran 2014 comes into the pits for a change of rubber. So Pimus 1 will go up a place into 8th. And we go back to the battle for 4th though, between Andy Meister and Temp. Father Fenner moving up a place as well, as Sierran 2014 comes out of the pits in 11th place. There's also a battle going on behind between P Crazy and No Van Dangle, who have already had their shenanigans earlier on. But No Van Dangle staying behind P Crazy. The battle for 4th rages though. Temp right behind Andy Meister. Jay Hamster right behind Elvis Nino. Temp will have DRS. Jay Hamster will have DRS as well. So we could see 2 overtakes in a space of a couple of seconds here. Andy Meister going to the inside, that's wise. Temp on the outside. Does Andy Meister fight back there? He does. And Lorenzo's already has left the session, but he's out of the race anyway. Jay Hamster's got ahead of the Ferrari though, of Elvis Nino. So he's up into 6th places. Andy Meister goes into the pits for a change of rubber. So the next man up front from Jay Hamster is Temp, who has been fighting with him for the lead earlier on. Now I just want to have a look and see how long each driver's been on what. So Warrior Huntsman and JB Berry have been on the hard tyres since the start of the race. And I'd like to think they'll begin to struggle. Now the Temp can go to the end on his, as can Jay Hamster. See Andy Meister rejoining the track in 11th. Just ahead of Jay Hartnell, No Van Dangle and P Crazy. Driver R28 a bit further behind. But at least they're all close together. Infinite Glory looking very, very good. I can't imagine he'll go to the end on those mediums. He'll need to pit again. And someone's gone for a spin in the back. That's the driver R28 in the Mercedes, losing further ground. So the Warrior Huntsman in 2nd place. He's had a great race so far. Needs to see how far he can go on his hard tyres. And race leader Infinite Glory's in the pit, so this is important. And P Crazy's gone for a spin, damages his front wing as well, and he'll fall behind the driver R28. So the Warrior Huntsman takes the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. JB Berry will move up into 2nd place. Temp will go 3rd, Jay Hamster 4th, and Elvis Nino in 5th. Pimus 1 in the pits for a change of tyres as well. We'll probably go into a set of mediums. And Mystery moving up a place into 7th. And Father Fenner will move up as well. He's going to lose a gaggle of places, is Pimus 1. Not good news for his championship. So Pimus 1 rejoining 13th place. So the championship leader with a lot of work to do. Infinite Glory on his fresh set of mediums. He's most definitely going to be picking up these drivers one by one by one. And P Crazy getting a time penalty for speeding in the pits. It's a nightmare of a race. Now, how far can the Warrior Huntsman go? Now, I would say he's probably got a couple more laps left in those tyres, so he'll carry on for the time being. He may try and go on a set of the soft compound, which I think is what he's trying to do. He's Temp on his hard tyres, as is Jay Hamster. Alphas Nino. He's going to be under pressure shortly from Infinite Glory. Now the sooner Infinite Glory can get by the Ferrari, the closer he can get onto the back of Temp and Jay Hamster, who are effectively fighting for the lead. As you can see, there's N Mystery coming into the pits for a change of tyres, and a new fastest lap for Andy Meister 28. So clearly finding time on those tyres. See Temp right behind the racing point of JB Berry. Now I wonder if JB Berry might do his teammate a favour here and hold the likes of Temp, Jay Hamster up here, because his teammate Infinite Glory's in 6th place, who's right on the tail of Elvis Nino. He'll get past him very, very shortly. I think JB Berry is going to find it difficult to hold off the McLaren though. He'll get into the slipstream though. He might try and go down the inside into turn 14, but he's too far back to do it. So Temp moves up into 2nd place, as Farvi Fenton picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. Warrior Huntsman stays out on his hards. And JB Berry pits probably for a set of mediums. Let's see what his... It's a set of the soft compound. So he's going to do 9 laps on the soft compound. So it'll be interesting to see if he can gain the time he can find. He'll rejoin ahead of Farvi Fenton. There he is, look. So Infinite Glory's got ahead of Elphas Nino. So the battle for the lead rages on, but it's Warrior Huntsman who still continues to lead the way. He'll probably come in at the end of this lap. If he doesn't, it'll most definitely be the next lap. Well, we did have 2 laps under the safety car, which I think played into the hands of those on the hard tyres more. Now, if he was to pit now, he would most definitely come out, I would think, in 5th place. Is he going to come in? Yes, he is. So, Warrior Huntsman comes into the pits for his only pit stop. So we'll see Temp take the lead from Jay Hamster, with Infinite Glory looming in behind them. Elvis Nino also coming into the pits for a change of tyres. So Warrior Huntsman will rejoin in 4th place. This is a great battle to watch. You know, if these guys do fight, that's going to allow Infinite Glory and maybe even Warrior Huntsman close in. Now Warrior Huntsman will want to look after his tyres. He's got to do 8 laps on these tyres, remember. They do fall off the cliff rather quickly. You see a battle for 6th rages on. Andy Meister on his fresh mediums. Farvi Fenton, who's been on those hard tyres for quite some time. So Jay Hamster will have DRS. Temp won't have DRS. Too far back to have a go from there, I think. Will Jay Hamster, but he's got more ERS than the McLaren at the moment. Locks up into turn 14. Manages to get it turn in, and Pimis 1's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now, exceeding track limits. Driver's clearly pushing very hard. And Favi Fenham gets past Andy Meister. You see the Ferrari behind of Elvis Nino on his soft compound, his fresh softs, getting by as well. Gets the car slowed down in time. You can see Andy Meister and Favi Fenham continuing to do battle, and Andy Meister gets past the Mercedes to go up into 6th place. You see Jay Hamster 97 right on the tail of Temp. Now he's still mathematically in contention for the championship, is Jay Hamster, but he needs a race victory to keep himself in the running for the title. So this is important. It's important that he times this with Infinite Glory on his fresh set of mediums. This is vitally important that he gets past Temp now. He needs to pass him now. On the back straight they go. He's closer than he was on the previous lap. With a good amount of VRS, he should get by him here, Jay Hamster, but he's going to have to fight for it though, because Temp's not going to make it easy. He forces him to go to the outside into turn 14, but Temp's going to outbrake him into there. Can Jay Hamster get the switch back on him? They're side by side through 15. Can Temp outbrake him into 16? He can, but he's going to be vulnerable under the back straight, and Jay Hamster's going to pull alongside on the start finish straight, and Jay Hamster takes the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. He completed it with a DRS, and he is through. That is important for the championship for him, and Temp could not hold him back that time around. Infinite Glory is going to be on the tail of him very shortly as well. Elvis Nino on the inside as well, on the Haas of Andy Meister. So around the outside into 16, and that's another place gain for him. And with Favi Fenham not having DRS, I think Nino's going to be on the inside of him into turn 1, and that's 6th place for him. So Elvis Nino on his fresh softs, making good use of them. Andy Meister getting on the inside of the Mercedes, and that's 7th place for him. Favi Fenham goes for a spin! Too desperate to try and get back ahead of him, and that's him falling down the order. So clearly pushing too hard there. That moves Pimis 1 up another position. Jay Hartnell has the point for the fastest lap, but he's down in 13th place, so he wouldn't be able to keep that point. If McLaury's going to have DRS, probably too far back to have a go on Temp on this lap. Warrior Huntsman probably too far back to even think about challenging these three. He's on his set of soft tyres though. Temp's got DRS, which will see him close on Jay Hamster 97 once more. So Jay Hamster, Temp, Infinite Glory still battling for the lead. I think they were able to pull away from Warrior Huntsman because they had DRS on the start-finish straight, did Temp and Infinite Glory. I'm sure Warrior Huntsman will be happy with his 4th place. Let's take a quick look of who's gained what from their grid positions. And see, Warrior Huntsman and JB Berry gaining 8 places from their starting position. Jay Hamster starting 4th, is currently in the lead now. Jay Hartnell getting another 3-second time penalty. I'm not sure if Temp will get DRS this time around. He may do. Didn't get good drive off turn 13. No, he won't have DRS. So Infinite Glory has got a good chance to get into the slipstream of the McLaren here with DRS. And Favi Fenham has retired from the session now. So that's his race run. He's clearly had enough. This is the second driver to retire, and Infinite Glory has gone wide, would you believe? I think that may have been a glitch, actually. He's still there with Temp and Jay Hamster. So no Fandangle right behind Pimus 1. There's still points up for grabs for Pimus 1 to try and stay ahead of Infinite Glory in the battle for the title. As it stands, Infinite Glory would take the lead by just a single point going into the last race of the season. Now the last race of the season, trying to find the calendar at the moment, the last race of the season will be at Monza, the Temple of Speed, which is going to be a feisty encounter for a season finale. Now Temp will have DRS, which is important for him in order to try and fend off from Infinite Glory behind him. Infinite Glory decides to wait. The Temp goes in a bit too deep behind Jay Hamster, but just about keeps himself in front of Infinite Glory. And the Temp with DRS on the start finish straight behind Jay Hamster. Probably too far back to do it there. Jay Hamster goes defensive. And Jay Hamster 97 keeps his nose in front. We've got 3 laps to go here in China. Can Temp get back into the slipstream of the Renault for the race win? He's got nothing to lose here as Temp, because he's nowhere near in the battle for the title. He wants this race win. Jay Hamster needs this race win to keep his slim chances of the championship alive. As it stands, Jay Hamster would have 93 points, Infinite Glory would have 116, and Pimus 1 would have 150. And in fact, Infinite Glory's spun out of turn 13, and he's lost a lot of time, and surely Warrior Huntsman is going to be on the tail of him. He has lost a lot of time there as Infinite Glory. That's disastrous for his championship hopes. So the battle for the lead is now a two-way fight between Jay Hamster 97 and Temp. Well, good news for Jay Hamster actually, because Temp has now got a 3-second time penalty for exceeding the track limits too many times. So the last few corners have been good news for Jay Hamster. He can afford to take it easy. Pimus 1 still in 9th place, and the driver with the fastest lap at the moment is Jay Hartnell, but he's down in 12th place, so he wouldn't be able to keep that point. He's too far behind N Mystery and N Fandangle to get himself back into a point scoring position, but Jay Hamster 97 desperate to get that race victory. He'll definitely move ahead of Jack Bowie. JB Bowie, that is, in the championship. JB Bowie, as it stands, would be out of championship contention going into the last race. And I think Temp has dropped back from Jay Hamster. He seems to have run out of ERS. Jay Hamster still has some ERS left in him. You see there, Warrior Huntsman. And Jay Hartnell's setting another new fastest lap. You can see the clouds are looming in, but we are on the final lap now. Jay Hamster has had to fight for this win. To keep himself in the running for the title. Now, if it was to stay like this, Jay Hamster would be 23 points off the top. So he still has a chance in this championship, but he would need to win at Monza to stand any chance. But at least he's still in the running as it stands. So it's been a brilliant race, loads of action, without a shadow of a doubt. Jay Hamster, after this turn, has just got 3 more corners to complete, and the victory is his. Now with Temp's 3-second time penalty, it wouldn't be enough for Infinite Glory to move back into second. But here's Jay Hamster, round in turn 14. 1 turn to go now. Jay Hamster rounds the last corner. Weaving over the finish line, Jay Hamster wins the Chinese Grand Prix. Temp finishes in second place. And with that, Jay Hamster keeps his hopes in the championship alive going into the last race of the season. Infinite Glory comes home in third place. He goes into the last round of the championship as the leader, would you believe it? Warrior Huntsman comes home in fourth place. JB Berry should be able to fend off Elvis Nino for fifth. Crosses the line just ahead of the Ferrari driver. So JB Berry is out of championship contention now. Andy Meister comes home in 7th. Ciron 2014 is 8th. Pimis 1 will come home in 9th place, ahead of No Fandangle. So Pimis 1 will lose the lead in the championship going into the last round of the title race. There's still 4 drivers in contention: Pimis 1, Infinite Glory, David Ivek and Jay Hamster. So brilliant race. 5 seconds was the gap in the end with the time penalties added. Jay Hamster did nothing wrong throughout all that. Thoroughly deserved his victory without a shadow of a doubt. Infinite Glory could be happy with his 3rd place, and with Pimis 1 only finishing 9th, it set the title race up for a brilliant finale at Monza. So what kind of finale are we going to expect? Jay Hamster collecting his trophy and celebrating with Temp and Infinite Glory. Brilliant Chinese Grand Prix, and thoroughly enjoyed that. So final classification, Jay Hamster the winner, then it's Temp in 2nd place with Infinite Glory in 3rd, Warrior Huntsman completing a great drive from 12th on the grid to 4th, and it's JB Bowie out of championship contention now. He finished in 5th place in that one. Elfas Nino in 6th, Ciron 2014 in 7th, followed by Andy Meister. Pimis 1 loses the lead in the championship, but he's still a point behind. He finished 9th in China, then it's Ned Van Dangle taking the final point in 10th place. And Mystery, Jay Hartnell, the driver R28, and P Crazy were the rest of the finishers. Farvi Fennon and the Senso were the non-finishers. As far as the championship is concerned, Infinite Glory leads on 116 points, and it's Pimis 1 in 2nd on 115. Then it's Deverek, who didn't race this time around. He remains on 100, and it's Jay Hamster 97, the outside favourite, on 93. So 23 points separate the top 4 drivers going into the last round of the season. Well, that's all from me today, and all from us. I've thoroughly enjoyed that race, and we're back again in a week's time for the last round of the season between 4 drivers in contention for the title at the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. The last round of the Tier 2 category of the Formula Racing League. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the Formula Racing League returns.